Growing up as a young boy, I've always been fascinated with tattoos. You know, how they look on people. I like the sense of charisma it gives to someone. I like the positive vibes you just feel when you now get a tattoo, how it looks, how it makes you feel. Feeling of accomplishing something, you know. And seeing it on other people is always give you this urge that you want to get one done. The meaning of a tattoo, there's a lot of different meanings to it. You could be in a sad place, you could be in a happy place, you could be in an angry place. So I guess it all depends on the time when you decide that you're going to get it done. So while growing up, you know, you always had the stigma of your parents, the relatives, the ones who say those people aren't really a positive part of society. They've always been classed as a certain type of individual. So growing up, the urge was always there, and the feeling of getting a tattoo was always there for me. I got my first tattoo at the age of 16. And I remember sitting in the shop, getting it done. And to give you an idea of how long ago that was, the guy was using a pen and needles. It was just a matter of getting it done, showing a bit more maturity, because you don't want to be the young, naive young boy again. Because with these things comes responsibility, because the stigma goes, you know, it's always the black sheep, and the bad ones and them is the ones who get tattoos. Sitting there for a half an hour and wondering if you're making correct decisions. You know, so after getting it done, going home, trying to hide, waiting until everybody's sleeping to go and bed, having on t-shirt all the time, faking that you're sick, you're feeling cold. So getting that first tattoo was just a starting point for me. I always know that I would have been the one to be the outstanding one in the family. When it did eventually come out, you know, it wasn't that bad to see, well, everyone came down on you. It lent a trend, you know, to your younger cousins, to the older cousins, even to the older aunts and uncles. You know, because in my family, no one ever really had any. So from the time they saw that I got one, it kind of opened up the book for everybody else who decided they want to get it, because by the time it was cured and a couple of months had passed, you know, everyone kind of eased into it. But I would say it's a big stigma towards people now who want to get tattoos, because it has been a part of our lives for so long. Even like the old Indian people, you would see it on their arms. So, you know, that was one of the things, if they could have gotten one, why couldn't I have one? So, tattoo as artwork has grown so much over the years. You know, from going to seeing the designs and the way it has been done with the shading and the line work and the types of tattoos. It has grown so much, and I think it has so many more levels to go. You know, because the likes of someone wanting a certain tattoo, and then when you compare it to something else, you know, it's always been a topic to say, well, you're always comparing and see who has the better tattoo and stuff like that. So tattoo as an artwork will always be there. It comes like drawing. Everyone has their own style, everyone has their own likes. So as an artwork, it is definitely recognized. I mean, back then everybody was on the rose and the snakes and all those things, but then afterwards I started to explain to them, remember, this is something that's going on your body for the rest of your life. You know, if you're going to do something like that, make sure that it means something. Make sure that it represents something. Make sure that you are comfortable with living with this on your skin for the rest of your life. And that's when they decided to take it up a notch, you know. Trying maybe a religious tattoo. You know, something that could mean something for the rest of your life, other than just doing a simple rose where everybody have it. So that's where all the talk about it, and like, you know, every time you do one and your family see you do a next one, And then every time you come and everybody be comparing and saying what they want to do, and then we would have a whole conversation about it. Even the older ones would be joining in, and the younger ones would say, well, when I grow up, I want to do this. And so it became more or less like a topic of discussion whenever the family meet up. This specific tattoo, I remember going through the internet and seeing someone did a whole sleeve with this particular design, and it completely blew me away. It was so mesmerizing to see the design and the time and the patience and the pain that it took for someone to actually go through with it. And seeing it on that person was just an eye-opener for me. And when I came to Scooby with the idea, he was more than hyped to do it. And from then it became one piece, then two piece, and then now he's doing a whole cover up right now. So it had reached to the point where I just needed to get it done. So this meaning, because we are putting a lot of hours into this tattoo, again, let it signify something. Let it mean something. Let it represent something. And for me, doing a full sleeve, I'm the first one in my family that did a full sleeve. So, it's not just you're going to do a small one here and a small one there and a small one there. If you're going to do it, make sure that it's done to your liking. Make sure it's done to something that you don't have to wake up and watch in your eye and be like, oh God. This is not the first one that Scooby did for me. And not just me, he tattooed my wife as well. So I have no regrets. And the accommodation is great. The conversation has been great, And even with my wife, she and all was like, she don't mind. She have no problems coming. She was very comfortable. And not just from my wife, I've heard it from a lot of other people as well. And they were really comfortable. They were happy with the tattoos that they got. So that's how come I'm here now trying to get it done properly by one of the better artists that I've known. A lot of the conversations we would have had while tattooing, it would always hit and mesh together. Because similar lives, similar stories, similar families. So it would always be to the point where you don't have to worry about going to a tattoo artist where, he just quiet or you just want to get it done and take your money. It would always be conversation wise and you're all right, you need anything, always try to make you feel at home, make you feel as most comfortable. Because to some people it is excruciating, but to some other people it'll be like, all right, it tends to open you up a bit more. It shows you your tolerance, it shows you your patience, it shows you how determined you are to actually go through with the whole thing. So I would say it's a bit of a therapy. It tends to have you thinking, would I be able to finish it? Would I be able to sit through the pain? And then when it's done and you actually see how it comes out, I think the pain that you would sit through afterwards, because ever so often you have to keep telling yourself, it's going to be worth it, it's going to be worth it. And then when it is actually done and you see it, the pain doesn't resonate within yourself anymore. It is gone. And then when you sit down and you realize, but it wasn't that bad. And then you get a bit more closer to the tattoo. You get a bit more acceptance to the tattoo to say, well, maybe I can do it again. It was an experience that required patience, endurance, and tolerance. Because if you didn't have those things, I don't think we would have been able to reach this far. Pretty stoked about it. I'm really happy how it turned out. We have a little more work to do with it, so can't wait for the next session. Hopefully, you should be able to complete it in the next session. I love how it looked. Compared to what it was to what it is now, it's a total transformation on the positive side. So I'm really, really happy about it.